Hey everybody, how you guys doing? I'm Sushma and welcome to my channel, The V Vibe. And I really miss saying that and doing that because I know like the past couple of months have been really occupied with personal stuff, so I've not made any video at all, but I kind of want to get back on schedule, so hopefully I'll be posting more videos in the coming weeks. Anyway, I had been to Europe the past month, like basically in August I went on this 2 week trip to Europe. I had been to like 4 different countries starting with Germany, so I just thought I'll make a quick video on how to apply for your Schengen visa to Germany while it's still fresh up here. So without wasting any time, let's just get started. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know what a Schengen visa is, basically all of the countries in Europe, they have a union, which is European Union. So all of these countries in Europe basically belong to the European Union, except for UK. They recently moved out of it. But there is also something called as the Schengen region or the Schengen area. So all of the countries in Europe which falls under the Schengen region, they have grouped together to form the Schengen region, and basically there is a visa called a Schengen visa which applies to all of the countries which is part of this group. So if you get a Schengen visa, you can basically travel to any of these countries with just one visa, which I think is great because just imagine going to Germany and like having a German visa or like some any country, European country specific visa, and then not able to go to the neighbor country, which is just like 3 hours by train or something. It's absurd. So thankfully we have Schengen region visa, which basically allows you to travel to all of these 27 different European countries which is part of the Schengen region. So that is the reason you have to get a Schengen visa if you want to like just go explore Europe. So which country is the easiest to obtain a Schengen visa from? Well, I did apply to Germany, but trust me when I tell this, Germany is not one of the easiest countries you'll get a Schengen visa from because the rejection rate in Germany is a bit more when compared to other countries. So there are like 5 or 6 countries where the rejection of visa rejection rate is basically very less. That is Lithuania, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Finland, Iceland. So the rejection rate for Schengen visa, like if you apply for these countries, it's really small. But the thing is, like, you know, it's kind of far away from the center of Europe, so that's the reason I wanted to get a Germany visa. And also I had one of my best friends living in Germany, so I could apply for a friend or family visit visa, and that's the reason I chose Germany. So it doesn't matter which country you choose to apply to get a Schengen visa from, because all of these countries charge you the same for the visa application fee, and almost all the documents that you have to submit to get a Schengen visa is exactly the same. Doesn't matter which country you're applying for. The only thing which kind of like differs is the waiting time to get an appointment date, which is quite way too much for like most of the European countries. Because for Germany, I don't know for how long I waited really long to get an appointment date. But I think it's the same for Spain, France, Switzerland, or all of these main tourist destinations. The wait time to get an appointment in order to process your visa application is really long. The visa application process time is much shorter when compared to waiting for the appointment date. So if you plan on going to like Germany or any other European countries, or going on a Europe trip, just plan way ahead in time, because I would say you should plan it at least 4 months before. So you have to apply to get a visa at least 4 or 5 months before you travel. So for Germany, there is a third party based in Ireland who will actually take care of all the visa procedures, which is TLS Contact Dublin. So there is their office in Dublin, so that is exactly where you'll have to go with all your documents on the date of your appointment. But yeah, let's just get a little bit back. So first of all, when I decided to go to Germany, the first thing I did was just go onto this TLS Contact website. So they have the set of procedure, or like the set of stuff you have to follow in order to make an appointment. So the first thing you have to do is fill an online application form called as the Videx form. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's called a Videx or a Videx, whatever it is called, a form. So I'll be leaving a link to this form right below in the description to check that out. So first of all, you should fill this entire form, and this will have all your basic details like your passport details, your current employment, and your reason to visit, and what dates you plan on visiting, etc, etc. So all of these information, so you have to have this filled in. And once you have filled in, then you have to, if you don't have an account with TLS Contact, you have to open an account on their website in TLS Contact so that you can make appointments. So once you have had your form filled, and once you have an account opened with TLS Contact, then you can log in and you can check if there are any available appointment slots, because that is the most important thing. I know you have to worry about the documents as well, but that is the later part, because getting an appointment date, like I said before, is not easy at all. And trust me when I say this, it is a real pain in the bum. So yeah, so all you have to do is just go and keep checking, because trust me, I spent at least 2 months checking every day for appointment slots. You know, I spent more than 2 months just getting an appointment. So I got an appointment in July, and my trip was planned in August, but I started applying like in April or May, and it took so long to get an appointment slot. But if you're lucky enough, if you keep checking every day, so what I did was I had logged in into TLS Contact in my mobile phone. So every morning when I woke up, I used to just check if there is any slot available. There are actually VIP slots. I don't know if it's called VIP slots, but it's like it costs more, so just for that particular slot you have to pay more. So I didn't want to get that, I got the regular one. So all you have to do is just go there every morning and keep checking, and every now and then, whenever you can think about your visa, or whenever you think about traveling to Europe, just go ahead and keep checking and checking and checking. So if a slot is available, it actually shows an appointment slot, and you have to just click on it, and you have to make a payment of 30 euros to save your slot or a spot. And then once that is done, you have to just pay 30 euros, and then you'll get an email telling your spot for that day is booked. But you can still decide to change it 2 more times. After that you'll lose your money, but you still get the chance to change your appointments 2 more times. But I would say once you get the spot, I don't think you'll be thinking about changing at all, because getting a spot itself is so difficult in the first place. So once you get your appointment spot, then you can start planning about or collecting all of the documents that is needed. So there are 3 different categories to apply for a German visa. One is on a business visit, and the other one is visiting a friend or family member, and then the other thing is for tourism. Okay, so whatever category you decide on applying to, each of these categories has their own set of checklists. So TLS Contact website has the checklist properly on their website, and I'll be leaving link to all of the 3 category checklists right below in the description. So here I'll be talking more about a checklist, the list of documents that you need when you visit a family or a friend, because that is what I applied for. So basically, like I said before, you have to fill the application on the Widex form basically. So you have to get a printout of the filled application, so you have to have that ready. And then you also need proof of funds, so that is your 3 months bank your pay slips, and also bank balance for the past 3 months. And I would say if you have anything around like 3 to 5 grand in your account, that should be okay. And then you should also have a travel insurance for the period you are planning to visit in the Schengen region. And also you also require travel itineraries. So basically you have to show them tickets, like the flight tickets which is booked for the dates. So you should also show a return ticket, don't forget that. So it should be like a 2-way ticket, because this is very important, because when I landed in Germany, they actually asked for me to show a return ticket, which was very unusual. Usually, like, I've traveled to many countries and I was never asked for a return ticket anywhere, so they are very particular. They did ask me for a return ticket. So if you don't have a return ticket, first of all, you don't even get a visa. So you need travel itinerary, that is a 2-way ticket basically, which shows the date when you are going to Germany, and then the date when you plan on returning from Germany, and you should have valid tickets. For this, I would say just go to Ryanair, which has like the cheapest flights from Ireland to Germany, and just book off the cheapest flight. You could do that, or which this is the other option which I learned later, which I think is better. Just go to Aer Lingus and just get 2 tickets, and just get the expensive tickets, which by expensive I mean which is refundable. So these expensive tickets are cancelable and refundable. So on the date, if you decide once you get a visa, if you decide to go on later date, so you can just cancel these tickets and get full money. That is even better. So just do that instead. Apart from that, you also need one passport size picture which you have to take with yourself, because they'll ask for a passport size picture for the application on the date of your appointment. And you should also give your address proof and previous copies of all the Schengen visa if you had Schengen visa before. So you should show copies of all the previous Schengen visas as well. And apart from that, I'll just take a peek. The document list is really big. I can't memorize everything. So your Irish residence permit card as well. You need a copy of that card. What else? Passport, you have to take your original passport and a photocopy of the passport, and proof of occupation, which will be your offer letter from your employer, or even your employment permit will do if you have an employment permit. And yeah, this is more important, invitation letter from your host, which is basically your friend or your family member. So you need a letter from them explaining why they're inviting you to Germany to visit them. And for this, what I can do is I have my own invitation letter, which I kind of like made it myself, and my friend she signed it. So I can actually leave a link to this document so that you can just use the format or some stuff from there and create your own letter or whatever, because this worked for me. So I'll just leave a link to that document as well below in the description. And also this thing is not listed in the document. They'll even ask for the residence permit of your friend or family who is in Germany. So make sure that you ask for their residence permit, or was it passport? I think both their passport and residence permit, front and back. You need copies of that as well, because I was asked for that, and that is not listed in their documents, but they did ask for that. So that is basically it. This is all the documents you need to go to your appointment. Once you have the documents, once you have your flight books, once you have your travel insurance sorted, when it comes to travel insurance, I got my travel insurance from India, so that worked as well for this period, and it was more cheaper, so I just got that. So you can, even in Ireland, there is a lot of cheap travel insurance. Unless you want to be very secure and safe, please go ahead and get the best travel insurance you can get, but I don't really care about that much, so I got the cheapest one out there is. So you can do that. So once you have all of this sorted, the next thing obviously in the list is to go on time to your appointment, to the application center on your appointment date. And do remember that if in case you miss it, you lose your money, and also you have to wait again for another 2 months, and you have to keep checking your appointment slots again and again. So make sure you don't miss your appointment and reach there in time with all of these documents I said. And the procedure is pretty straightforward. So they basically take your fingerprints and all the biometrics and stuff, and then they cross-verify all your documents, and make sure you get a printout of the checklist as well, and arrange all the documents in that particular order. So whenever they ask for the document, just give it to them. It won't take long. It was the most easiest part of the visa procedure, honestly. So I just went in, and I probably had to wait for about 15 minutes or so, and then I was called in. I just submitted all the documents there, and that's it. I was sent back home. But you also have an option to order your passport back via mail or something to your house, or you can just go back and collect, because they'll send an email telling your passport is back in their office, and you can just go and collect. I just chose to get it to my house because I don't really live in Dublin, so I live a bit far from Dublin, so I didn't want to go back to collect my passport. So you have to pay extra 30 euros if you want the passport to be delivered to your place. But honestly speaking, if I was in Dublin, I would not do that. I would just go there myself and collect it. But that is the option. And the visa fee is 80 euros, which I have to pay on spot. So obviously carry your debit card or cash. I don't know if they accept cash, because I always pay by card. So make sure you have both in just in case. So that is pretty much everything you need to get a Schengen visa, I guess. Okay, so that is pretty much everything there is to know about the visa procedure. So once you land in Germany, like I told you before, just have your tickets ready because they might, I mean, for me, they did ask, so they might ask for you as well to show the return ticket as well. And sometimes they'll even ask who you're going to visit. So just don't panic, just answer cash, no big deal. But yeah, that is pretty much everything. So once you have it sorted, you can go and explore Europe, and trust me, it's a really beautiful place to visit. And I'd been to Germany, I'd been to Belgium, I'd been to France, and I'd been to Switzerland, and my favorite place has to be Switzerland. It's amazing. So I hope you travel and explore the places and have fun. So bon voyage, and I'll see you soon again in my next video. Until then, ciao ciao. Same. Hey guys, hey guys. Alright, serious. I'm talking shit. No.